All right, let's get cooking. So today we are at 13 minutes. Today we're going to build a business today, and we're not going to build a business because I think that you all build businesses every day with AI. We're going to build a business because I want to show you how to think about doing business things like data sourcing, data cleansing, model analysis, org design, business model design, market viability, offer design, ICP definitions. If we can get to it, financial modeling and forecasting. If we don't, Craig, you and I can have a drink. Pitch deck development and strategy, logo creation, website design and structure. What I'm going to show you is again, it's not so that you can leave here and go invent a business on using an AI tool. It's so that you can see how I'm executing business functions in rapid format. There's only one part of this that I prepared last night because I knew there would be a little bit of a hiccup with it. And I'm going to show you what that is. But the meat of what's about to happen, you're going to see happen in real time so that you can see how quickly these tools can progress in advance and take you from a seed to an oak tree. And at the end of the day, I don't I don't really want to be giving you all prompts. Giving you a prompt is like just giving you a fish. A prompt that I make for me is maybe useful to one other person on this call, maybe two. And even then, it's still not going to be exactly to them. What you all need to have is a foundational understanding of these tools to know that they can go to affinity and beyond. And when you can realize that is when you have this breakthrough moment where you realize the exponential capability of these tools. So with that being said, let's actually dive in. So what I did last night, and then it happened again a little bit this morning, some of you may have noticed that I was poking around on your LinkedIn profiles. Well, it wasn't really me. What I did was I went and I took all the attendees for this webinar and for this session, and I cut the list in half. So I think we got it up to 31 people. I have them in a spreadsheet here. And this is using a tool called Atlas. And Atlas is just like Chrome or Internet Explorer or any other browser that you use, except it's made by ChatGPT. And so you've got this AI that is actually a browser, and I can actually just give it a set of instructions and tell it to go execute things for me. So what I did prior to this video, what you're watching is a screen recording from yesterday, last night. All I had was name, first name, last name, and email. And I first told the tool, I need you to take first name, last name, email. I need you to go do a Google search, go do a LinkedIn search, and I need you to bring me back all of these people's LinkedIn profile URLs. And that is what it's doing right now. I was sitting here just watching this while it was running through and doing exactly what I asked it. Once it had all the LinkedIn profiles, all the profile URLs, I said, okay, next step, I need you to go back to those LinkedIn profile URLs, and I need you to tell me the role of that person, their profession, and their bio. And so now it's going, this is a 10-minute recording. You can see it going profile, and I gave it the authority and the instructions to use my LinkedIn account. And so I'm in the other room cooking dinner, and this is going page by page by page, scooping up information one at a time. All right, once that was done, and I don't believe I made a recording of that part. Once this was done, I had that same tool take everybody's name and just make up a new name. And then I had it take out any actual PII from the role and the bio. And so what I have here are 31 people, fake names, real bios, real roles, fake jobs, fake job names. And so what we're going to do to start here is I'm going to use these 31 people and say, let's go make a company. Like what can I do with these 31 people that are all highly trained professionals? Thanks, Spencer. All right, and we're going to change it up today as well. Usually we're running on ChatGPT. We're going to be using Gemini today. If I hit any roadblocks, I will open ChatGPT, but we're going to use Gemini today to just expand the tool set. And For those of you that remember, we are big prominent users of voice to text. Hope that feedback doesn't continue. All right, so I have here a list of 31 names. I'm simply going to copy them. I'm going to go over to Gemini, and here we go. All right, I need your help, and I need you to act as a very experienced HR talent leader with a wide range of experience, because I have 31 highly qualified candidates that I'm going to start a business with. And now they're all so highly qualified that I know we could start a business together, but I'm just not sure what would be the best business for us to start. So what I need you to do is to read the bios of these people and analyze their strengths and how we can group those strengths and to what type of company might be the most logical for us to build with all of those people. I want you to give me 4 options of businesses to create. And with each business, I want you to tell me why the skill sets of my group would make sense to build that business. I then also want you to tell me who would be the most likely in that group of people to be the leader of each of those businesses. So there's my prompt, and here's all my data that I just pasted in. And let's do some thinking here. This is an incredibly high density talent pool. As an HR leader, what strikes me immediately is the extreme moat of professional license and technical depth you have. You aren't just starting a business, you have the foundation for a vertically integrated powerhouse. You have a triad of legal, finance, and technology. Here are 4 high leverage business models that maximize the specific group's synergy with the most logical leaders for each. Mid-market, a succession powerhouse, AI integrated prop tech and real estate development firm, fractional C-suite business transformation agency, family office, and private wealth protector. Definitely makes sense. Let's see. I'm thinking I don't really want to do AI. I kind of like the AI powerhouse. I'm also a little biased for a fractional C-suite. Stephen Glick, what do you think we should do? Not the AI one.
Yeah, too easy. I would say either the fractional to help your world or number 5 looked interesting. Or I'm sorry, number 4, family office.
Cool. All right. Let's do super agency, comprehensive wealth management, high net worth. Let's do the C-suite, fractional C-suite. All right. So I showed you the stuff I did last night with the data sourcing and the cleansing. We just did a really high level. We did a really high level talent analysis. We're gonna end up coming back to that. But for now, you know what? I'm gonna figure this. We're gonna figure this out. Okay, I'm kind of stuck between the mid-market M&A succession powerhouse and the fractional C-suite business transformation agency. Can you give me a little bit more of a detailed breakdown, not like ultra in depth, just kind of like what is the percentage layout of all of our staff and talent, and how would it make most sense for option 3 and option 1? Also put into your mix a really high level, what would be a better business right now in considering all factors of the economic landscape in the United States. Deciding a high level, you essentially have a transition engine or transaction engine or transformation engine. Since you're in Chicago, private hub for private equity. Option 1, the deal desk, the legal shield, the growth in AI, the value add, boom, boom, boom. Mid-market. As of early 2026, the mid-market M&A succession powerhouse is the superior business move, and here's why. Silver tsunami, we probably all heard of that. Valuation recovery, volatility after the mid-2020 market has firmed up. Interest rates have stabilized. Private equity dry powder is at the record levels. They're looking for the exact clean tech ready deals that your team can produce. Option 1 allows you to play the role of private equity light firm. Sweet. Let's do it. All right. Thank you for all that context. Let's move forward with the middle market, a succession powerhouse. Can you build me let's just say like a 10-page business plan, helping me identify our target markets, our business structure, the whole 9 yards. But before you do that, can you ask me 3 questions to help make sure that we're going in the right direction for this business plan? 3 strategy questions. All right. Thank you very much. Let's see. Do you want this firm to operate as an advisory boutique or as a search fund micro PE firm? Let's see. Hey, we got Craig. Craig, you're in the house, right? Craig Levy.
I am.
You wanna help me answer these questions?
Sure. So starting with which one?
Are we a skin in the game or a fee for service type of firm?
Skin in the game.
And are we sector focused or generalist?
Generalist.
Where sellers use fund? Are you comfortable with positioning as an AI? Are you comfortable with us being an AI enabled firm?
Certainly AI complementary. I'm not sure if enabled is yet there in this space.
Cool. All right. Thank you. All right. Let's go skin in the game. Let's be a generalist and let's maybe not focus on hardcore on AI first and forward. AI competent and we certainly back office use it. This is a bold and highly profitable decision, Craig. All right. To acquire, professionalize, and scale profit mid-market, 2 million to 15 million EBITDA. The equity flywheel. Unlike traditional firms that charge for advice, you operate as a micro private equity firm. With 31 people, we are overstaffed for a traditional agency, but perfectly sized for an investment group that manages 3 to 5 portfolio companies simultaneously. Craig, does that jive in your head with having 31 people, but having 3 to 5 portfolio companies?
That's enormous. That's overstaffed.
Yeah, but you could have more than 3 to 5, right?
You need less people or more companies.
How many companies with 31? Also, don't forget the
You're going to need the right mix too. We haven't talked about that, but supposedly there's a mix in this space that's doing deals, that's fundraising, and that's operating. You probably can do seven companies depending on the size of those companies.
cool. Well, here we already see that they're 2 to 15 million. They probably need to be higher than that, right?
Yes.
All right. For starters, I think we're a little off on our mid-market size and of businesses and how many this team of this size can handle. You even said that we're overstaffed. So let's amp up the EBITDA ceiling and consider a larger portfolio cap, multiple arbitrage. For anybody that's curious after the fact of all this stuff, I can let you know who Isabel Knox is and Oliver Hayes and who's who. All right. Cool. All right. So we have a general business model. I'm going to take the notes that I just gave and I'm going, all right, let's see. All right, let's review and modify this a little bit. I think your EBITDA is off. I think we need to be higher there. And I think the portfolio, I think we need to be able to I think we can handle more portfolios, more companies in the portfolio. Can you revise that portion of the business model, rewrite it, and then I'm just going to have you, we're not going to go back and forth on this. Can you write our top 3 business types and ICPs inside of those that our firm is going to target and go after? I want a really solid, like full page summary of each one of those profiles in the business plan. Also, go ahead and like write our thesis for this whole thing while you're at it. Nice. 6 to 10 companies. Our thesis: the silver tsunami of retiring boomers, baby boomer business owners have created a historic surplus of profitable, tech-lagging mid-market companies. Traditional private equity is too slow and financial only to capture this. We win by being operators first. We acquire companies with good bones but old systems, deploy our 31-person special forces team to modernize them within 12 months, then either hold for cash flow or sell to larger funds at a modernized premium. Surprise, surprise, we've got some HVAC in here, CPL Illegal Wealth, and manufacturing, specialized manufacturing. Nate, you can help us figure these ones out. All right. So we see this thing here. Let's take a step back from the actual information we're analyzing here. Because I'm in Gemini and because I'm using Gemini Pro, I've got this information has the ability to be exported to sheets. That simply, like right here, it's just creating a spreadsheet. Now, this is a very, very basic spreadsheet that it is. I assume it's going to be very basic. Open in sheets. Yeah, that's dumb. So what I'm going to do though is say, I'm going to turn this button on called Canvas, and Canvas in Gemini allows you to take all this information. If you've heard of Cloud Code or Lovable, which we're going to look at shortly, Canvas is sort of similar to that, where you can take a whole bunch of information and bring it to life. So All right, this is awesome. What I need you to do now using Canvas, can you build me a interactive like website app sort of widget that I can walk my business partners and our team through the business plan, our target audience, so that I can just easily walk them through this whole thing and we can all throw our money down and get this business cruising. Here we go. Now, do you think I know what any of this stuff on the screen is like actually doing? No, but I know that it's going to do what I want it to do. So when you see stuff like that, just know that I'm not messing with it, right? And if I'm not messing with it, then you shouldn't feel you need to mess with it. Well, here we go. Hey, okay, team, everybody on this call. Here is our kind of internal pitch deck for us to have this conversation about our new business we're going to start. Thesis, target sectors. Wow, this is so nifty. You know what I want to do though is I want it to add, this is amazing, great job. I need you to make another tab that draws out our team members, right? We're talking so much about how awesome this whole group is and how much talent and skill they have. We need to call that out as a tab on our equity group vision portal. So, and when you're doing that, please identify who's the CEO, who's the executive team, and then who's all on the support delivery teams. All right, we are at 9:07. We've done a little bit of talent analysis. We've done some org design, business model, market viability, ICP definitions. We haven't really done offer design too much, although that might not be applicable in this type of business. We have not done any financial modeling or forecasting. We're going to call this our pitch deck. Look at that. Harper Lane. I wonder who that is in our randomized. Liam Brooks, Chris Toddles. I'll reach out to everybody individually if you made the cut. All right, so I'm gonna jump over to two tools that are outside of Gemini that I think are, one's really important for everybody to know. This is pretty attainable. The second is a tool that I use basically all day, every day, but I still think everybody should know about it. So, okay, so here we have our investor pitch deck, but it's not really a deck, right? It's an interactive thing, which is really cool. You know, I'm gonna share this. Actually, I'm gonna drop this in the chat so that if anybody wants to mess with it, there you go. But what I want to do now is I want to make an actual deck for like we'll call it a sales deck, right? We're pitching a company to crap. I have to go. All right, 1 second. So guess what? This is using the tool. All right, so what I have is, so I'm trying to leave the Canvas builder, but it's not letting me. It's making me start a new chat, as you can see. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take our business plan and I'm going to drop it into a document. There we go. There's our business plan high level. What were the other, is there anything else in here? Yeah, let's just grab this one too. I think it's a little redundant information, but all right. So now I have taken that information and just dropped it into a Google Doc. So it's 7 pages. This is actually this is a small document. And I'm turning this into a PDF. So now I just have this information outside of the tool. So I'm going to go back to the tool. I'm going to start a new chat. I'm going to upload that file. So I'm now giving this chat all of that context. And I'm going to say, all right, I need you to review my business plan. I know it's high level. I know you probably don't have all the information you need, but I got a business that I want to invest in like later this afternoon for our new company. So I need you to make me a 5-slide sales deck. So when I go have lunch with the owner of this business that I want to invest in, I can whip him through 5 slides about why our team is the best and that we should get into business together. I'm going to take your slide requirements and bring them over to Gamma. So I need you to write it slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4, slide 5. Do not make a Google slide prezzo. We're going to take this output and drop it into a PowerPoint creation tool called Gamma. The reason I told it not to make a deck in Google Slides is because Google now just has the ability to do this. So know that you can just do this natively in Google, but I did want to show you this other tool, Gamma, because it's also really awesome and simple to use. So look, I just asked for a slide outline, and this is what I got. So I'm going to copy all of that text. I'm going to go over to Gamma. Gamma, this is basically what Gamma looks like. You can make all sorts of stuff. I'm going to hit generate with AI. Presentation. Let's make it 5 cards. I'm going to paste my text in there, edit prompt. I do this all the time. I'm going to use my style. We're going to do no images. We're going to do 5 cards. I do this all the time. I'll have a presentation tomorrow. So I go to Gamma. I talk through, what do I want the deck to be? I'll use ChatGPT to supplement. What do I want the deck to be? I'll bring it over to Gamma, and I have a slide. I have a deck get made right before my eyes. When this is done, I then export it to Google Slides or PowerPoint, and then I go to town editing it from there. But look how much time I'm saving. Look at this. This is a deck. We just made it. We've made a company. We picked the team. We analyzed the team. We analyzed market conditions. We made an internal investor pitch application. And now I've made a sales deck so that I can go pitch this guy over lunch. Present. Here's our deck. I could literally walk into a meeting right now, and I've done this before. I'll walk into meetings. I'm starting to get comfortable walking into meetings with Gamma links. I will whip up a deck on the fly, walk in, not even like really read anything off of it, but it has the content and it has the information. And I just was able to do this in no time. All right, we're gonna use the last 5 minutes to go make a website. All right, fantastic job. Let's run this same play, except I need a requirements document so that I can give it to Lovable so that we can whip up a website very quickly. We want to have as much information as possible so that we just look incredible and, more established than we might actually be. So solid requirements document for a website. Okay, Lovable. Look at this. It operates just like the rest of these tools. There's a chat box and you put information in it. So when look at that. We're just about done here. Look at all this. All right. I'm going to copy that. I'm going over to Lovable and I'm literally just going to drop it in. I'm going to hit plan. Now, I don't expect anybody here to really need to use Lovable and at this depth, but I'm showing you so that you start to really push your mental boundaries of what's humanly possible so that you can start to fill in the gaps in between there in your own life and in your own work. So Lovable is taking all that context I gave it, just like Gamma did, and it's thinking through it. And now it's asking me, I'm not even going to read. I'm just going to say approve so that it can get it to doing its own cooking. This will take somewhere like 60 seconds to 2 minutes to pump out. So while we are waiting, who has a thought, a question? Let's hear it.
Justin, are you fine with the tools you gave, Gamma and Lovable? Are you finding those work better with Gemini, or will those also work with Copilot and ChatGPT?
The play that I just ran was use the model to build the context and then just take that text-based context and give it to Gamma. So you can do it with any tool. As far as how good is that context, that's going to be how good is your conversation that you're having, how good is the information that you're building. If I had to say which one you're going to have the worst time with, it's probably going to be Perplexity and then Copilot. You're still going to get good results out of Copilot. You're just using a little bit lagging of the model. To answer your question, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I asked about Copilot because we have an enterprise account through Copilot, so it's to not have to pay for another one, but that makes sense.
Yeah. If you're on enterprise Copilot, you're probably pretty far up there. Like, yeah, you're probably fine. Do it a handful of times, and if you feel it's lagging, then maybe consider.
On the slide deck with Gamma, quick question on that. Can you add, so now that we created the company, can you add company branding to that? Will Gamma go back and add it into that deck?
Yeah. So I can customize, I can go make a new theme and boom, now we have a different theme. And so I can then go create my own brand and theme for your company and Boom, now it looks like that. And then again, I'll hit share and export, and I can export to PowerPoint or slides, and you'll be surprised how accurate, like you'll be surprised how well it translates. Sometimes you go from slides to PowerPoint and things get wonky. They spit out super clean. If you're using, look, our website, let's see. What does it look like? ChatGPT is also now, drum roll. Wow. It's a little on the nose there. Special Forces team. This is pretty wild.
Wow.
Then if you do a URL, let's say through Google URL or domains or GoDaddy, you could just plug that in as the, or can you with Lovable, do they host the website? Can you change the website or the website name?
I made my website on Lovable, and it is on my domain. I make a new product on Lovable like every 4 or 5 days. Sometimes I make just fun shit because I have an idea. Other times somebody will ask me for a website, and I'll say I don't do that anymore. And then I'll say, wait a minute, let's have a 30-minute phone call, and then boom, they have a website. So the answer is yes to all your questions.
Justin, how do you go from what they just created on Lovable to actually put it on your, like, what's the next step to actually publish it?
You hit the publish button, and it's going to spit it out on a Lovable subdomain right now. And then as soon as that's published, I can then add a custom domain, which all my domains are in GoDaddy. So it's like 2 clicks, and it's on my GoDaddy. So the same applies for, any other hosting solution.
Do you prefer with the GoDaddy AI tools that they help you build the websites? Do you prefer using this over GoDaddy?
The GoDaddy website builders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I highly recommend to not use GoDaddy's website builders.
I never tried it, and I stay away from it. So
no, if you all hypothetically went and used a GoDaddy website builder, any other website builder right now, it would take you years to create what we just created here. That whole thing where you just talk. Make me an awesome website. Actually, no, yeah, I won't share. Is Craig still on the phone?
I am.
Craig, can you tell him about the time we made your website?
1 second here, trying to. Seconds.
Like we were doing this. I was just asking Craig about his business model or a business model, and we had a 5-minute, if that, discussion.
Right.
And I just dropped that transcript into this chat box, and it made his website. And it was design, aesthetics, interaction. I've been making websites since I was 11. I've never made websites that look this good. And Dave asked, Lovable is a paid tool. You basically pay per credit to use this. It's the same thing with Gamma. I pay $10 a month, and I probably make like 5 to 7 real decks per month. I hit my limit once, which if you hit a limit, you just put $10 more in the machine, and you get more credits. Same with Lovable. It starts at $25 a month. That website that we just built, let's just go look. We can. This is a good use case for you guys to see. That website that we just built, it cost $1.07 to make that website. It cost me $1.07 to make that website. Yeah, which is like absurd, right? How can you rank in SEO chat searches on this website? Great technical question. So on my website that I built, I also had to build the back end. And so when I built the back end, I built all of the global on-site SEO and all those pieces and components, and built the analytics dashboard so that I can see who's visiting, So your question there, how can you rank? It's like one of those same AI questions. How do you do this? There's a billion ways. Like it's an infinite, like you can do anything. If you can think it, you can do it. We are in a world now where, as you have seen today, if you can think it, you can do it. All you have to do is have enough foundation to know that that's possible, and to just keep asking questions and talking. We just made a company in 40 minutes. Now, obviously, we all know this isn't like a real company, but like, look at the products look at the material and the output. A few of us could go sit in an office for a couple hours and probably get this actual company to a spot where it was like 90% likely to be actually viable and feasible. That's like, it's just, we live in a wild world, and you need to know that you can do whatever you want. So any wrap up questions?
How do you know how legitimate and factual the information is that it's spitting out?
It depends what you ask it.
Like
if it's
this just made this huge presentation.
in the chat history that when we were doing the market analysis, there were website links to all the sources where it was getting its information from. So when you ask it a type of question that from source material, it's gonna give that to you. And if you choose to ignore that, then that's your choice to assume that it was accurate. If you choose to go do the homework, then you can validate it yourself. I will tell you that like one of the biggest excuses from everybody, especially like law firms, is the hallucination component, which is decreasing and decreasing and decreasing and decreasing. Like it still does it, but any excuse that people had 2 years ago, 3 years ago, it's like 2% excuse now. Argument.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, next session is last Thursday of March, which is March 26th. Same place, same time. We will have the next 4 weeks to come up with some other scenarios. So if you all have any questions or ideas or scenarios you think might be fun to cruise through here, just let me know. I will send a link out to my services page. So if you're interested in doing a small group, which is basically like this with less people, and I don't do the talking for an hour, it's a lot more interactive and intimate, just let me know. Other than that, have a fantastic close to the week, and I will talk to you all soon.
Really,
Thank
really eye-opening stuff, Justin. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks,
Justin.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
See ya.
Thank you.